Hey guys, I am joined by Xavier Wilson. How you doing today?
Hey, how you guys doing? How you doing?
Beach day, eh?
Yeah. We're just leaving out. Had a little Airbnb and fishing, which basically is just me feeding fish because I'm not catching anything.
Trying to get some food for dinner.
I tried. I really wanted to catch something and cook it and eat it. Like that was my goal, and I would survive. I would have. I'm sorry. I would have failed the survival test.
What do you get out there mostly? Like perch, trout? What kind of fish are out there?
Red drum. I caught 2 catfish. They weren't big enough. I had to throw them out.
They don't
But
taste.
yeah, that depends on how you make them. But yeah, that's red drums from what I'm hearing. There was a weird, what was it? Not a dogfish. It was something similar. It was
Okay.
called something, but it was weird. One of our friends caught it.
I like fishing out here. I'm in Ontario, Canada. But our lakes are kind of So our lakes aren't the best. They're so dirty.
Oh man.
But we got trout farms and stuff. So I keep fishing.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to get the question. Where did you get the name the Professor?
Professor X from XMen.
Oh,
Charles Xavier, right? He's
I'm a brain fart. I should have known that.
yeah, Professor X. Come on, my name's Xavier. And then, well, really, what it was, because like watching X-Men, I'm a huge nerd, obviously.
Yeah.
So watching X-Men, I was like, you look at him as in his leadership role, like he was very much like Martin Luther King Jr., right? And Magneto was more like Malcolm X, right? So just principle wise, I lined up more with Professor X. Like I was always a bit more peaceful, but also his powers. He's a mind reader.
Oh, for sure.
A mind reader is very telekinetic. So it's like, when you're fighting, you want to be a mind reader because you can read the guy's next move, right? That was my thing. I liked it.
So I should have got into that. I'm so stupid. I should have included that before. I'm actually a huge X-Men fan. I like the X-Men movies more than like the Avenger movies and stuff. I wish they did more with Marvel in that category. So.
Oh wow, yeah. I think they have a lot of potential. I'm really hoping that the MCU does some cool stuff because they got their rights. So they're just waiting to introduce the mutants into the new Marvel universe. But I love the old ones. X-Men 2. I didn't love Dark Phoenix. I didn't love those X-Men 3 or the new Dark Phoenix one, but yeah, they were fun films nonetheless.
Well, we need a Fantastic Four movie now.
I think that might be the one that they're trying to do because Spider-Man Far From Home, not Far From Home.
Yeah.
Can't go home. I don't know. The next Spider-Man movie is supposed to introduce, as well as the new Doctor Strange movie, the multiverse. And I'm like 90% sure they said something about mutants in one of the leaked scenes. Yeah. So yeah, I think that Fantastic. Oh, I'm sorry. On top of the mutants, they had I think Fantastic Four spoiled supposedly
for sure
in one of the scripts. So we'll see.
Absolutely. Let's get into a little bit of boxing. Last Saturday, it was Saturday. Didn't go your way. What did you learn from that experience? I know you said you had you made that one mistake. Like, what did you learn from that experience, and how are you going to bounce back from that?
Honestly, so what you learn from things like that, it's very. You learn about discipline. Discipline is very important. And it's not that I have a lack of discipline or stuff like that, but it's rather that the level of discipline at that level that you want to be at, if you want to be on the big stage, it has to be immaculate. You know what I mean? So I explained in one of my videos, all the different things that were kind of going against us on that fight. I went up 2 weight classes. Right? Yeah. Also, 10-ounce gloves. You're supposed to be using 10-ounce gloves at that weight, and we ended up using 8-ounce gloves because of some mix-ups in the back. That's another, thing. I only had 2 weeks notice on the fight. Stay ready. I get it. But the only reason that I did not stay ready, because I have been staying ready all year, but was because I had two deaths in the family, and my grandma and my great grandma, and they were right behind each other. And we were like, I was kind of in charge of a lot of the organization of those funerals, like personally. Like I wrote the program literally. But yeah, so all that kind of lined up, and then like on top of all that, we you know, the short notice, all that, and just walking in trying to make a miracle happen is basically what we got caught on doing. But learning from the actual experience, you got to think about it. Like I got caught with one shot.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gets caught with shots. You can't go a whole fight without getting shot. So I get it, you know, weight class, whatever, but still, one shot, you got to be mad disciplined.
For sure.
If I was going away from that shot, if I was doing something else, anything else to avoid the full damage, the full brunt of that shot, maybe I would have won. Maybe something else would have happened. You never know. But the whole point is, if I had that discipline, I would have done a lot better. So looking at that, you know, we just obviously not take those fights because we just want the exposure. But
exactly.
We're probably not going to take those big, hard, difficult fights without proper preparation.
Yeah, so the dog, eh?
Yeah, I got a little Sancho back there.
Yeah. So what do you do in that situation when they say, do you want to fight on a Canelo Saunders card? You know what I mean? You have to take those opportunities.
Yeah, honestly, that like my great grandma was like a huge motivator for me because I was like I can't go up to heaven and be like, oh, I'm sorry, grandma. You know, when you left, I had to step down. Like, no, I'm going to go up there and tell her, grandma, I did everything I could. And when the opportunity came knocking, the big one, this was the big one for me. You know, like I'm a kid that came from nothing. And my family is not a boxing family. We are not boxing royalty. You know, I don't have that much experience. And they gave me a shot. And they like me. You know, it's not like it wasn't an all bad thing, even though I lost and shit.
Are you signed for a couple fights?
No, I wish. No, still not signed. Still looking around, but you know, right now we just want to make sure we deal with a lot of the medical stuff. That was another thing I haven't really touched on. I haven't really told a lot of people, you know, exactly what's going on, but I do have, you know, a small medical issue. It's nothing crazy, but it does affect me, and I have to make sure I can fix it and move forward with this career properly. But that's basically what I'm focused on next. So I'm not really looking at my next fight until I get everything lined up.
Okay, so you don't have a time period of when you want to get in there quite yet.
I want to say September, but even that, like September would be if everything goes very, very well and I'm able to do whatever treatment I need to do and it's short term and it's easy. I would say worst case like December. Like I definitely want to fight one more time this year at least.
Sure. So
hopefully I can make that happen. But I'm looking at it realistically. You never know what happens. I could end up not being able to fight until next year. Who knows?
Sure. It's just a waiting period, right?
Yeah.
And I gotta say, shout out to I love the hat.
Hey, I just got it. $13.
That's amazing. A great deal. So is the mission still the same? You still want to go for a world title? Is that still your goal?
Yes. I really so touching that top level because the guy that we fought was not a joke. Like it wasn't just some guy. The guy was 19-2 with 17 knockouts. Taking that fight already was like, hey, watch out. And then on top of all the other stuff, you know. But so touching that level, I look at the results. Of course, I don't enjoy that I got TKO'd in the second round. Like that's so early. That's all the stuff. But looking at the circumstance and the level, that makes sense. And I wasn't doing bad. I wasn't going out there sloppily like doing it. I felt like it was. If you want to be competitive about it, yeah, sure. But I do feel like I won the first round just by out-jabbing him, just by staying out there. And the second round was going well. It was just literally one shot. So I feel like that level is still attainable for me. We just have to be perfect, be disciplined. And so I'm looking and I'm like, yeah, I would like to build my way to a world title.
For sure. And you were going up 2 weight classes. Was there any cut?
Yes. So I've been meaning to move up to 140 anyway.
Okay.
Because 135 I had been making for a long time, but I got bigger. I don't know what it was. Oh, actually, I do know exactly what it was. Last year, February through like September, I did a carnivore diet. So I was only eating meat. Only.
Yeah.
And it was funny enough, at first, of course, I did lose weight. Like, I lost the fat. But I built this little bit of muscle, and I was lean, shredded. My veins were popping out, walking around 55. And I was like,
wow.
how am I supposed to cut 20 pounds, and I'm already lean? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we were trying to make some fights happen recently. And not recently, but, like, you know, towards the end of that year. And I was having trouble. Like, so I was like, all right, let's go ahead and move up to 140. And let's see how that goes. And then we were trying to take like an easy fight, like kind of like a practice fight at 45 to 47, just because, like,
get your feet
honestly,
wet.
But just to see where I'm at, and then from there go to 40 from there. And then we were gonna take a break because of my eye, you know, my issues and all that stuff, figuring everything out.
We lost each other for a second there.
There we go. I think we're back.
We are.
There we are.
So we were talking. I forgot what were we talking about exactly.
I know we were talking about a time frame on the next fight.
Yes.
Champion, hopefully.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely wanted to keep aiming for that level, and touched it. I see the discipline that is required, and I'm more than capable. And I don't know when it's time to move on. You know, once we move on, I know that I'm going to become the best coach in the world. And no one will be able to stop us. So
you were talking about the carnivore diet. That's what we were talking about.
Oh yes, I gained weight because I was eating nothing but meat and cheese, and it was wonderful. But I lost weight initially, so I was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" But I lost all my fat, and I was shredded up at like 155, just walking around. And so yeah, we decided to move up, and Canelo came knocking on the door, like, "Hey, you want to fight in our show at 148?" And I was like, "What am I gonna say? No?" Like, I guess I gotta say yeah. I don't care whatever happens. Like, I got heart. I got heart. You can't tell me. You can't call me pussy. I'll say that much.
And it's crazy. It's like it get to that experience, like fighting on a Canelo card. Like, was it a lot different than another fight that you've been in before, or like the build up? I know you didn't have too much time. Like, you only had 2 weeks, but walking into that building that day, was it just a different feel to it?
Oh man. Well, okay. So I don't know what it is about me, but I did not care at all about the amount of people or the famous people that were coming. I met Tyson Fury, and that was so cool. I met Chris Algieri, and me and Chris Algieri, like, we get along pretty well. I'd love to, have more conversation with him because I feel like me and him have a good vibe, and that's really cool. But, like, I was looking around at these people, and I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to. This is where I'm supposed to be at. I'm not, starstruck or anything like that. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And then, fighting wise, all those people, this big show, like, I was like, this is so cool. I'm so happy to be here. But it is not an ounce of stage fright. Once you get in the ring, because I remember distinctly, like, I was in the ring, and I was like, started the first round, and I was like, here I am on this matchroom boxing ring on the biggest card of the year. Now I'm boxing, and I'm jabbing, and I'm moving. I'm doing the same thing. It's the same thing. You're in the ring, and there's another guy in the ring, and you're trying to kill each other, and then there's one other guy in the ring, and he's trying to stop any type of homicide. That is the only thing that matters in that moment. The crowd, the people outside the ring, all that melts away, and it's just like, you have to be in the moment.
So you don't get butterflies with stuff.
Yeah, no, I didn't have any butterflies, nothing.
Oh wow, I would be. That's crazy. That's definitely great for your mindset though, going into that.
Yeah, Yeah, I was happy about it. Like, I was shocked, honestly. I was like, I thought I'd be more nervous. Like at the ceremonial weigh-in, I was in front of everybody, and that's when I first saw the big crowd, because even when I fought, the building wasn't even filled up like that. But the weigh-ins, man, it was so full. And I met Julio Cesar Chavez Sr.
Awesome.
There. They were going crazy for him. Woo! But
legend.
Yeah, that huge crowd, and I just took pictures with some people because they asked me to take pictures with them, and I was like, okay, and I got along with everyone, and it was great. And I was like, yeah, this is cool, but I'm not scared of anything. I'm good.
For sure. And after the fight, did you get I know it didn't go your way, but did you get to sit there and watch the Canelo fight, or did?
Yeah, we had to do some fancy punching, but we got in there. So there was like a lot of discrepancy with like the matchroom people and all of them, and the actual event center, the AT&T Center, right? So it was hard, but it was like, what are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna kick out somebody that was literally part of the show, that would make the show one of the fighters?
Yeah.
After the fight, like, no, you're not gonna do that. So they hooked us up with some even more tickets because there was confusion, and had us on a good level, like real close. We were like right barely above floor level. So I got a great view. I stayed and watched the fights. Takayama, man, that guy's a machine. And
for sure.
My friend, he lives in Japan, and he told me, hey, I have a friend going to fight on that card. Say hi to him. His name's Takayama. You tell him, Michael no Tomodachi. And I did. And they were like, oh, Michael, I teach books. And we got along. So it was really cool, but it was so sad, his fight, he was just getting hit so much. The ref had to call it, but he still had so much in him after.
For sure.
And then, of course, Billy Joe got his whole orbital cheek, everything broken. And Canelo felt it. Like, I knew as soon as he landed a hard punch, he started holding his arms up. That's when he felt it. And then he came back to the corner and he said, I felt something break in his face. He's not coming out of the corner. Wow. And I was like, yo. And then people were booing. I talked about this in the video. People were booing. People were, carrying on about these fighters getting stopped and all this stuff. And they didn't boo really when I got stopped. They booed because they felt like it was a bad call, because I was aware. I was up. Yeah. When he was counting, I was there. When he said step over, I was like, oh, step over here? Okay, yeah, I stepped over. I was there. But honestly, I'm completely honest. I don't remember the punch. That hook that hit me, I don't remember that punch. And I don't remember actually going down and coming up. That was all my body. But when I grabbed the rope, when I touched the rope, I was there. When I held up my fist, like I was like, okay, I'm here. Let's go. But he just felt like I was gonna get hurt even worse, which, that's just their job. So with Nakatani, like, you got to stop it at some point, and he was not going to win off of taking all those shots. And then Billy Joe Saunders, dude, he might not be fighting ever again. That thing is broken. He might be done. So what do they want, him to lose his eye or die or something? Like, dang.
Let's get your thoughts on this, though. I can't remember the fight. I'd like to say maybe a Tyson-Fury fight. My buddy, the co-host Marshall, just mentioned this. A couple months ago, Billy Joe Saunders said that I would rather be carried out on a stretcher than ever quit on the stool. And what happened? And then that happens to him. Does that give him a bad rap, though, for quitting on the stool now?
Well, from what I'm understanding, and I might be wrong, but from what I'm understanding, on the stool, he didn't actually say it was someone on his team and the doctor that called it. And he was sitting there. Maybe his body language might have been, and they might have asked him, "Do you want to fight?" But as a boxer, as a fighter, our job is going to be to fight to our last breath.
For sure.
Deontay Wilder fired a guy off his team for not letting him go out on his shield and die. And I think that's stupid, because our job is to put everything out there on our,
for sure.
put our life on the line. Our team's job is specifically to keep us from hurting ourselves.
For
so
sure.
Billy Joe, I like I said, whether he said yeah or no on the stool or not, I don't. I'm understanding the reports are saying no. He did not come out of the corner. It was his team. But just looking at it, like, him saying that, like, his statement, it rings true. And I don't doubt him. I don't doubt most fighters that step in the ring. And people were talking about it. I'm like, hey, you can talk if you want to, but I'm sorry. There was a fighter, a heavyweight after the Cuban heavyweight had hit the other guy, and his forearm kind of clipped the back of his head.
Okay.
And everyone thought he was faking it. He like collapsed in the ring, holding the back of his head.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So I was looking at it and I was like, all right, let's watch this slow motion, see what happened. So he hit him with his forearm and his wrist. It wasn't clean, but there was impact. You did see his head shift. There was impact, okay? And people don't understand. I saw this Cuban man hitting the bag the day before the weigh-ins.
Yeah.
He hits hard as a mamma jamma. All right, it's not a joke. And if people are like, oh, he's faking all of them, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I can't really say whether he's faking it or not, but I do know that if you're standing in front of him and he hits you with his forearm, you're not going to be fine. Okay?
Sure.
He's trying to kill you. So why don't y'all get in the ring and experience it and then talk shit?
Exactly.
So, I just leave it at that. And
there's too many keyboard warriors, eh?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Too many.
All day.
Everyone needs to get in the ring at least once.
And then you can judge whether or not. And a lot of them, even then, they might get in and be like, nah, what a pussy, all this stuff. It's just there's a certain mentality that has pervaded it, and it becomes toxic to a point. So it's like, we need that warrior mentality, but everybody else, y'all need to relax and enjoy the sport because we're putting our lives on the line. Yeah.
Exactly.
So just enjoy that.
For sure. And before I let you go, I appreciate all the time in the world. Who was a boxer that you looked up to getting into boxing?
Oh man. So I have my two favorites. And everybody knows Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard, big deal for me.
I think he's overrated. You're gonna hate me.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I've just never been a Sugar Ray fan.
Really? Who is your favorite of the four? The Fabulous Four, right? Marvin. Okay. I see. Yeah. Marvin was gangster. I love him too. But no, Sugar Ray Leonard was my guy. Yeah, he's from Maryland. I'm from Maryland. His style I've tried to emulate. Once I knew about it, but really I just kind of naturally went towards that style. When I think about what is boxing, what is good fighting, and then see Sugar Leonard fighting and boxing and throwing combinations, the way that he moves, that's what I imagine. So I just love the style and his persona, all that. But the other one that people don't know about, this is actually my favorite boxer. He was a heavyweight. His name is Jersey Joe Walcott. And he was in the 20s, 30s. Basically, he was doing what Muhammad Ali was doing, on his toes, like a featherweight. 30 years before Muhammad Ali. He fought Rocky Marciano. In fact, this is how you'll know him. You'll recognize him because there's a picture of Rocky Marciano throwing a big right hand at some black guy, and the black guy's face is all squished up. That's Jersey Joe, and that punch saved him. Oh my God, Jersey Joe was kicking his dirty ass. Okay, he knocked him down twice. I think he knocked Marciano twice in that fight, and then that one punch, bam, hurt him, and he took a knee. And when he took a knee, Rocky actually caught him while he was down and hit him, and they had to stop the fight after that. But Jersey Joe had it not been for that, would have beat Rocky, and then Rocky Marciano was undefeated. You know that. But he fought a bunch of people. He didn't get his world title until he was 30 something, 38, 37, I think.
I'll have to do more research about him.
Yeah. Oh, you definitely do some research on him. He's one of my favorites. Jazz.
Don't worry. I think Roy Jones is my favorite of all time. Him and Robert Guerrero. I don't know if you remember Robert Guerrero.
Yeah.
But Roy Jones, people say, is overrated too. So
I don't think so. I think Roy Jones is really really good. I think that because his opposition, like he cleaned out the divisions pretty quick.
yeah,
And
this didn't be the biggest names.
wasn't there. Um, it was more so the timing of when he came
Exactly.
in. So I think that he's just a great mind. I met him. I met him too over at
Lucky.
Canelos. That was cool. He was awesome, man. He was a real cool guy. He met me twice. I think I got a picture of him. Yeah, I did. Thank
That's
goodness.
amazing.
That's another thing. I was really bad about pictures. I did not care about pictures. I asked them about their day or something, you know?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything or to the people before I let you go?
Well, I've made it a point because I've seen all of these people come behind me and support me in this. I have always made it a
Yeah.
point to try to remember to thank people and
Yeah.
thank my fans and my supporters and my sparring partners and my family. Like I just anybody that's watching this, which hopefully a lot of people do and all that stuff, but a lot of people that know me, y'all already know my story and you know how much I care about y'all. And I love you guys like from the bottom of my heart. There's so many people out there, but I think of you all way more than you could possibly imagine. Like
Mhm.
I think about it a lot. So I love you guys and thank you for supporting me.
For sure. I really appreciate you having on the show today, and we'll get you back before your next fight if that's okay.
That would be wonderful.
Perfect.